Yeah, 20 years worth of spiritual experience and 3 addictions have taught me what I'm about to teach you guys today. And I believe I paid a high price for what I'm about to tell you. And I believe this is something that a lot of people need to understand, because the people who know about reality the most aren't the people who have experienced the best things in life, but it's the people who experience the worst things in life. And usually it comes with addiction and not being able to manage your emotions. And the beauty about it is that I feel like I've been liberated from a lot of my addictions. And if I knew what I'm about to tell you now, it could have helped me today. And this is not about how to break addictions, even though it is, but it's really about detaching. And if you know how to detach from almost the impossible, which is a drug addiction, you can detach from anything. So even if you have a little bit of unhappiness or deep unhappiness, this is the right video for you. So uh, the first thing that I've learned is that in order to break any addiction, it's much better to do it in a group. In order to break any attachment, it's much better to do it in a group. And the reason why is this is because most of your negative habits, you learn it from your friends. So the negative habits that you learn from your friends, unfortunately, you have to also break your habits in a social way. That is literally the quickest and most guaranteed way to break any habit, is to do it in a group. So that means for example, if you're trying to meditate, don't just meditate by yourself. Join a meditation group. If you're trying to quit alcohol, join Alcoholics Anonymous group. If you had a heartbreak, don't just cry by yourself. Go to one of those free support groups. Doing things in group and not in isolation will literally help you detach with much more quickness. Now, the next thing in spirituality that I learned is that the meditation that you use to detach matters. Some meditations aren't good for detachment. Some meditations are good for detachment. The meditation that I recommend for detachment is Vipassana, because it gets at the core of reality. And I'm gonna show you guys a small segment, a small version of that. But what I learned is that whenever you have a negative habit, reacting to the negative habit is what reinforces it. For example, and I'm gonna teach you guys what reaction truly is. You have a dog, and your dog keeps jumping on you whenever you come home, and you react. Oh, hey, little creepy little dog. Hey, little dog. And you're trying to break that habit, but every time he does that, you react. You reinforce it. What they taught me is that when a dog tries to jump up and be creepy, you just ignore it until the dog calms down, and then you pay attention. Emotions are like dogs at our feet trying to get our attention. And what you have to do is that if the dog is trying to get your attention, what you have to do is literally not react to the creepy little dog. What you do is you just wait for the emotion to calm down, and then you act. For example, let's just say you're trying to break the habit of, let me see, you have negative self-talk, right? And usually when you have negative self-talk, you go on Instagram and you look at the girls or guys that look better than you. What I would tell you is that whenever you get that thought, that negative self-talk or even negative self-image, what you want to do is bring awareness to the present moment, and bring awareness to a physical sensation. What this does is that it literally brings your emotions to a more relaxed state. And then once you're relaxed, then you can act. I don't give a fuck whatever you do. Just make sure that when you're acting out your negative habit, make sure to first bring awareness to the body, feel the body for like 5 minutes, and then do the negative habit. Over time, what you don't know is that what really rewards the negative habit is not the negative habit itself, is literally reacting as soon as you get the impulse. You create some space between yourself and the reaction, and then act. And the key to this is that if you're going to be smoking, for example, if you're going to smoke, make sure to do that habit consciously. So I would tell you, feel the breath or feel the body, and as you're smoking, keep awareness in the body. For example, feel your hand, right? Feel the hand from within, and then smoke that crack. Then smoke that cigarette while you are feeling the hand. If you can't feel the hand, that means you need to sit down, close your eyes, and concentrate on being able to feel the hand, so that when you do that negative habit, you are aware that you are feeling the sensations of the hand while you are conducting that negative pattern. And what it does is that the habit requires your full attention to stay nice and firm in your brain. You are literally removing energy like an electronic that's only working at half of its power. It's kind of slow. So you're removing that life force that allows it to act through you. It literally gets reinforced whenever you pay full attention to the smoking. You remove the reinforcement by bringing awareness to any bodily sensation, noticing how it feels to smoke, bringing conscious awareness, and over time, that the compulsion to smoke goes away. Just bring full conscious awareness to the habit. If you're needy and creepy, when you're texting someone, you bring conscious awareness to the needy habit of yours, and that will over time lessen it. That's one thing. So you don't reinforce it by bringing all of your attention to the habit. You bring your attention to the physical sensation of the body, then do the habit, and it'll literally go away over time. The next thing I want you guys to understand, this is what I learned recently, asegura que el sol no le dé la cámara ahí, is that you have the conscious emotions. This is all of your unhappiness, right? Imagine that in your unconscious lies your unhappiness, right? And your body uses these negative emotions to manifest other forms of emotion. So you have the raw emotion, which is pretty much fear, and then it manifests itself in different forms: sadness, revenge, depression. And what we try to do is that we try to, like whack-a-mole. We try to remove that depression, meaning I feel sad, let me eat. I feel sad, let me smoke crack. And you whack the mole and you think it's gone. But what happens is that this shit actually goes back inside, right? And then it manifests itself as another thing. It never truly gets resolved because you're not dealing with the unconscious. You're only dealing with the conscious manifestation. Now, what brings out your unconscious? Awareness to the body. For example, don't you notice that when you meditate, thoughts come up and images come up that you really didn't know? You start thinking of this, you start thinking of that, and you're like, what's going on? Well, what's happening is that by you being in the body, you literally have access to your unconscious. That's why when you meditate, for some reason, your thoughts cannot stop creating thoughts. Well, because you're finally in the unconscious. And so the thoughts arise, hey, Delexis, hey, let's smoke crack. Hey, I'm so depressed that one time that person rejected me. And if you just keep observing the breath, what happens, and this is beauty, and it doesn't feel like you're doing anything. What happens is that this actually dissolves, and it takes a chunk out of this, and then the brain brings you something else so that you could react. So you say, how about this? So bringing up that memory about his mom didn't work. Let's bring up some harder memory. How about, hey, let's smoke some weed. Then it says, hey, let's smoke some weed. If you don't react, the desire for weed goes away, and then you feel peace. But guess what? It actually removes it. And then the body says, holy shit, this person found out how to do this. Let's bring up more crazy shit. Hey, how about that one time your dad fucking abandoned you? And then it hits you. You're like, oh wait, oh shit. Fucking dad, oh god damn it. Boom, all of a sudden you gave him more energy. What you do is you just have to sit and observe. Feel the body and allow the thoughts to arise and pass away. Arise, and each time it arises and passes away, the next time it arises, it comes back smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's how meditation works. Now, the key is this, is that when you're done meditating, keep awareness on the body. Because what happens is that as you're walking around in real life, you notice that something bad happens, and in your mind, you say, fuck that shit up. I cannot believe I missed my train. Boom. Without you even noticing, because you're not aware, you added more. All of a sudden, you see a girl that you're like, oh my gosh, she's so fucking hot. God damn it, you react, right? You saw a hot girl, you're like, oh, I wish I could have her. Then you realize you can't. More. The way to prevent this from happening, you gotta bring awareness. So when you see that hot girl, hot guy, you don't see them first. You first feel the sensations of the breath and then perceive the hot girl. Feel the sensation of the breath and then you hear the fact that you missed your flight. And when you know that you miss your flight, you don't say, motherfucker. You just say, feel the breath, feel the breath, feel the breath. And then you deal with it. You don't react to the mind. And this is gonna feel like there's an itch you can't scratch. Don't scratch that itch. Just allow it to be, feel the breath. And what you'll notice is that you're not dealing with this anymore. You're not dealing with the outward manifestation, the illusion of these raw emotions. You're dealing with the raw emotions, not the thoughts. So that means you miss your flight, you hear your mind, fuck. No, you bring your awareness to the body. And then you feel everything in your body says, think about that, think about that, think about that. And it even feels uncomfortable here. But what you do, you just keep feeling the body. You're dealing with this. You're dealing with the unconscious. You're dealing with the source of this. And by dealing with this goes away. And if you just let it burn out, feel those emotions while feeling the sensations of the body, I swear to God, whatever emotion, all of this, you know what this happens? You know how this extra space now, this, and then this happens, you remove more, what happens? What this is peace. And then the beauty about it, the peace, just like this, comes out. And it's actually, you call that compassion. All of a sudden, these negative emotions become replaced with peace. And this is actually space, the awareness. Your unconscious turns conscious. You become aware of all of this. And by bringing awareness to the unconscious, it radiates peace from you. And this is how I was able to quit my addictions to MDMA, how I was able to quit all my addiction to Adderall. I was able to stop all of this through this, but it took many years. And the key to it is that you don't just practice meditation, you also do it in a group. So that means that, like, if you're, whatever goal that you have, even positive goals, don't just want to learn art by yourself. Join an art group like I do. Go to an art school. Groups and reinforces habits, right? But you gotta be careful. Don't get with the wrong group, because some groups get you to do drugs. Some groups get you to do crack. It just depends. And this is how you do it, man. Honestly, this is hopefully this makes sense. If you guys want to go to those meditation retreats, just go to dharma.org. It's actually a free meditation retreat. It's a Vipassana. So go check that out. If you don't do that, I'm gonna have to close the channel, okay? Anyways, take care. Bye-bye.